Hey guys, what's up? It's Arrived here, the Slurp Maker. Let's get set for it all. Competition and everything that is currently going on right now. Right now in the world there is a big and humongous snowstorm from the west side of the world, or Russia, and it is now in the present day Central America, or the eastern side of the world. Nonetheless, the most important thing about this channel is competition, of course. So what is the point of making a channel about competition? Well, to get you interested, competition is basically everything. The moment the leaders of our nation come to a conclusion that they should act upon and act in a certain way is the moment we start competing. We want to get the grasp as the competitive market or whatever resources are available and immediately come on top and be the wealthiest person in the niche. This sort of competition is really a sort of anti-competitive form of competition, but it is delivered throughout the world in forms of employment that is available to everyone throughout the world. Let's say we have silver. Silver is going to be more expensive just as gold is, and now that we have that, we want people all around the world to say that we want it as well, and that will bring its value to a certain threshold that everyone has understood to be valuable. Now this might be a little bit political, but whatever is going on with the current immigration policies is sort of a competitive edge, because it's literally saying that the majority group of party or throughout the world who are saying that they should have America the way it should be are saying that they feel anti-competitive competition from the minorities that are being brought in by the previous administration. The previous administration says it wouldn't be a problem, but the amount of jobs and job creation have to do with the resources, like I mentioned earlier, and therefore it is indisputably resilient and redundant to even think about how you'll be able to solve this problem. On top of that, artificial intelligence is taking about jobs everywhere you go, so people are now flooding the job markets and are competing with people who didn't have jobs for 5 years now because they just got laid off from AI. And that's a terrible thing. And it's all anti-competitive competition. We can also see that in the dating field, because now people who have jobs and have thought about destroying AI in its own sector have also come to the realization that they won't be affected by it either, and now women are in the competing field as well, who also work and want to get husbands, but those husbands also have to make money because everything is so expensive, and therefore the competition is even more anti-competitive. Other sort of political adventures have to do with Greenland and the other expenditures in Latin America. But the other thing that we can exude today is the realization of the detrimental forces of talking to each other, because everyone's going to be laughing hysterically in their own AI glasses. Now, I don't have AI glasses, these are blue light glasses, but we can just imagine these AI glasses adding filters to your face while we're talking, and all just cracking up everywhere we go because we see everyone in a snapshot filter. The available and readily sellable amounts of gold are now indistinguishable and is up for competition, which ultimately leads to crime and other sorts of discriminatory practices. Although the study of the Utopia has really given rise to the ability to make sure capitalism and things like poverty exist, because in the rat utopia, if you've heard about it, there are rats who have a serene lifestyle with food and water and all this shelter, but once they come to a month or two, they begin to indiscriminately rape and attack each other, and they are rats, and that is just an experiment. We're not too sure what humans would do, but humans might exude the same sort of consequence. But how does that have to do with anything but competition? Well, competition is fierce, so therefore you have to have skills. Competition related to this would be called, particularly for my agenda, because I have currently discussed the previous and worldly matters, is having to do with the nonsense of racial slurs. The nonsense of racial slurs is this ability to express with freedom of expression, thanks to the USA, of their anti-competitive understanding of the competition, and therefore they've come to racial slurs and say that these entire group of people are down because that entire group of people has a possibility to make some money. Now, it is good that they're able to make some money, but the problem is that people are too smart and educated that they realize that they're going to be spending their money for this particular group of people, and then they're going to say, we don't want to spend our money here, we want to spend our money with majority white Americans, and that is the racial thing that is currently going on. Ultimately, if you know about the racial slurs and the racial conspiracy, then you are pretty much doomed, because now that you know, and majority of America knows that they know, they're going to be battling against you and saying that, hey, if we don't like how you look, then we won't get you a part of this whole money that we currently have. And with that, we can also revisit the many little stereotypes and little know about some people throughout the world in the flagship of America, like New York City, that Jewish people are very wealthy and the Arabs are this and but they've been attacked by their adversaries, the USA, and the world is coming to a ultimate halt. The Japanese are also in a different situation with their mediocrities to their ability to find a right leader, so they've gone through 3 so far, and there's also South Korea, and China is still with President Xi, and India still has Prime Minister Modi. It seems like the big 3 players have all the competition. So what does that basically mean? It basically means you gotta be aligned with the identities of China, India, and the USA just to get somewhere or someone, because that basically means that these are the 3 current big problems that we need to solve. So we need to have idiosyncrasies, personas, niches, and people out there just to figure out what is going on entirely with this whole goddamn thing, because this channel is about competition, and this is why we're trying to figure out the competition so we can go out there and act the way we act and make some sales and get some leads for whatever we're doing. But we want to be offering value, and this is the point of competition, to be valuable, as the current world currently manufactures many things to be able to idiosyncratize your ability to offer value. More and more about competition, and there has to do with the latest news of Warner Bros. Merging with Discovery Incorporated, and that sort of media entertainment channel, and they're trying to beat the competition because Netflix has taken so much, Amazon Prime has taken so much, and many other small little creators have taken so much. So Discovery Inc. and Warner Bros. Are now coming together, even though Netflix tried to buy them. What that basically means is that competition is getting tougher and tougher. So you as an individual, even if you do keep up with the current idiosyncrasy of the Warner Bros. And Discovery merger, you're probably just going to have a month or 2 of good information until they've come to terms with everything else, or until they merge. Then you have to wait until after they merge for them to produce anything that is worth even adapting or adjusting your lifestyle to. The point of this video is to ultimately make sure that competition is in good hands. By means making sure that we don't have any sort of racial slurs coming about the competition, especially with the worldwide agreed upon Vajit Lane terms, and that's a racial slur that I probably should get rid of. If you're looking at most of the things that throughout the world, just be positive and you'll be able to destroy the competition. But I do have some suggestions, and here are a few. Alright, here are 5 things that we should do amidst this competition. Here's number 1, and that's sticking with only the small little creator channel that you have that are free, and sticking with 1 or 2 paid subscriptions, because we want to be able to really focus down on what we're trying to achieve here, not just what the big companies leading us are trying to emit and project to us, because we do know that there is a greater understanding throughout the world of world leaders, but we are most predominantly interested in our own sector, in our own competition, because we want to be on social media and doing whatever we want to do, or even at work and doing whatever we want to do. And that brings me to my second point, number 2. Realize that world powers throughout the world will always have a bigger say than you being this number 1 person out of 8 billion people. Quite frankly, if you look at the many other things throughout the world, they just have so many dominance or such a big word, even though they've taken account into the many perspective and idiosyncrasies and psychological personalities there are about the way that they could come about this resource, is ultimately the reason why you should just realize that these guys will have so much more say than you, and you should just take it easy and focus on the small things like figuring out how to make money during AI, figuring out how to make money during the competition, figure out how to make money, and all the other previous things that are so doomsday worthy of, you should also figure it out. If you want to look back in the video, you should do that, because I am moving on. Number 3, this is an obvious one. Take a break from social media. Social media is really detrimental, and it could be time consuming. At the end of the day, you are just going to be keeping up with the world leaders and what they've decided, or even the big 5 or FANG's decision on like Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, their decision on how the current trends of whatever's going on the internet should be taken. So you should take a break from social media or try to capitalize off it, and this is why you should hit that like and subscribe, because I will be talking about the competition, and that competition could eventually help you make some sort of idiosyncrasy or derivative or personality or niche, because this is how we run the social media marketing, and want to thank you for watching. And before we get to number 5, hit that like and subscribe, and I really do appreciate it. If you want to comment or say anything, say whatever you want, just don't say Pajit because it will automatically be removed. Kind of don't want my content to be realized as Pajit because there are voting parties around the world. I think voting is harassment, competition is harassment, and this is why I'm making this video, because some of you might agree with me and come up with something that is more unilateral to the mainstream. Offer value to everyone and everyone around you by studying yourself and studying each other, or studying books and looking into books and discovering new knowledge, and be happy about knowledge and figure out what you can do about that so you can be a contributing factor to the very fast and very very fast and very one-sided world that you have to have the most amount of information, deliver it as easy as possible in the shortest amount of time, and make sure that you can actually get the sales. If you like this channel, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.